and today I'm going to be doing another episode in my back to school series. Now I did this kind of video a few years back and it is my note-taking video, and I had so many great responses on that, but I wanted to remake the video in HD quality because I have a few more tips for you guys, and I know you guys really like these back to school videos, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. I have some notes on the note-taking video here, and also I'm joined by this little doggy right here. Hello. She's like, what the hell? This is not my dog. It is my brother's dog, and I'm just babysitting her for a couple of weeks. So that is why if you hear rustling sounds in the back, that is going to be her. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So there are two types of main notes. There are lecture notes and there are textbook notes. Now, you know, depending on what type of curriculum you're doing at your school, or if you're in university or high school or middle school, there are going to be varying types. It might not always be lecture notes, it could be movie notes. You know, there's always different types of notes. But I'm going to cover those two because those are the main types. So I'm going to start off with lecture notes because I find that that's usually like the hardest type of notes to take. And the first thing that I have here that's completely highlighted is to ask the teacher to repeat themselves. Now sometimes it's really hard, especially during lecture notes, because either the teacher talks really fast or sometimes the teacher talks really slow and you just fall asleep and you just don't take notes, and it's all bad. It's all bad. I've done that before. But asking the teacher to repeat something is super important. The teacher is there to help you study and to help you learn, and also it's going to help other students as well, because most of the time, even though you may be embarrassed to ask the teacher to repeat something, most of the time, I guarantee you, like 99% of the time, there are at least 2 students who also didn't catch that word or phrase, but they're too shy to ask for the teacher to repeat it. If you do want the teacher to repeat a word or a phrase, go ahead and raise your hand. The teacher will be more than happy to help you out. If your teacher is going too fast and your notes are getting really sloppy and you just really can't keep up with the teacher, and you know the teacher just keeps on going at a pace where you can't keep up and you're too shy to ask, a lot of the times what I like to do is put a post-it word or the phrase that I missed and go back into the textbook or go back to like Wiki or any type of search engine to go ahead and see what those words actually meant, so I can go ahead and put it back into my vocab list. I know a lot of you guys love highlighting and using colored pencils to take notes, but let me tell you this, when you are at a lecture, especially in college and high school, you are not gonna have time to go ahead and be like, oh wait, hold on, I got like a bajillion pencils and pens and I need to highlight all my stuff. You are not gonna have time for that. So while you are in class during the lecture, go ahead, just take your black pencil or your black pen and just write down your notes, uncolorful. When you go back home, you can always just correct your notes, and that I find is a super easy way to study, as well as, you know, clean up your notes a little bit. What I like to do is when I am in a lecture class, I'll just write down all my notes as is, and then I'll go back and either rewrite it if it's too messy, or I will go ahead and color it, or look up the definition of some vocab words, and in the end, your notes are going to be awesome, and you're also going to, you know, the 10 minutes that you took to clean up your notes, that's going to go into kind of like your study time, and you're going to catch up on all of the studying material that you need for the test. I feel like Tiki's like in the side. Yeah, she is. I'm sorry, guys. So number 2 is textbook note taking, and this is usually at home or at study time, or if a teacher gives you a little study session, you can always go ahead and take notes then. But textbook notes are really up to you on how you take them and what feels most comfortable for you. Some people, Cornell notes might work the best, but for other people it might be like Venn diagrams and pictures and whatnot. So it's really up to you. I'm just going to show you guys a few things that I like to do on my notes because I find that this works the best for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for everyone, but hopefully you guys can take a little bit away from this. The first thing that I recommend doing, especially when you're looking at a textbook, is to always pick out the vocab words. What I like to do is section off a page of my notes that is just for vocabulary. So usually it's on the left-hand side near the spiral where I have all of my vocab words, and then once I figure out what that word is, I'll go ahead and put in the definition. And most of the time in your textbook, you'll find that the vocab words are either highlighted for you or are in a different color for you. So it's very easy to find, and you can go through the textbook and fill out the definitions, and this is also a great way to find it for studying and for tests as well. The next thing that I would recommend doing is to highlight different topics with different colors. So I know that, you know, especially with history, science, English notes, they can get really messy and really jumbled up, and it's harder to find things, but especially when you're testing, you want really easy to read notes. So what I really recommend doing is to highlight the section that goes with that topic. So I'm gonna insert a side clip because it's really confusing, but let's say if I'm taking history notes, I will go ahead and at the top of the page I will write what color means what type of thing. So if I was talking about a date like 1898, let's say I was talking about that date, I would go ahead and highlight that in blue because blue means dates, so it's easier to find. I'm a very visual learner. If that works for you, that's really awesome, but I like to go with color to color, so that's what really helps me out. I'm kind of a child in that sense, but if blue is the date, find the blue section that is highlighted, and that's pretty much like all you need to do. So super simple and super easy, and hopefully the side clip kind of helped you out. And the next thing is to section off your notes in different sections. So once again, if you're into like the whole like you know, straight bullet point notes, go ahead, do whatever you want to do, but what I like to do is section off. As I said earlier, I have a section for vocab. The top of the section is usually meant for the main like definition of my notes. So this one is my anthropology day 4 notes, and at the very top I have the definition of anthropology. So you know, if you're just flipping through your notes really quickly, you kind of get like a skim of what that page is about. So I have that, I have my vocab, and then on the side, if any notes from the teacher are written on the board, I'll go ahead and write that on the side as well. Usually when teachers want you to remember certain things or are repeating something over and over again, that means it's usually going to be on the test. So what I like to do is take a neon sticky note and write out what the teacher was saying or what the teacher kept on repeating, because usually that's what's going to be on the test. And talking about being on the test, a lot of the times nowadays teachers, especially in high school and college, they do offer an online website where they do post their notes. So sometimes you can print out the presentations that they're gonna do the day before, which is awesome, and sometimes you can go back and check and see if the teacher uploaded anything, because I guarantee you that if you go back on those notes, a lot of the times what they highlight is what's going to be on the test and what's going to, you know, give you that perfect grade that you want. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to tell me down below what type of back to school videos you want to see next. I do have an outfit and makeup and hair look that is coming up soon, and I want to stop filming now because these lights are super hot. It is probably like 9 p.m. at nighttime, but I am so hot. Okay, anyway, love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for the support and so many likes for my last video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone. Mwah!